We got the Srixon ZXi7s, brand new. I've been playing them for a couple weeks. They're out this year. Srixon just doesn't miss with irons. I'm gonna be honest with you. Not to spoil the review, I love these things. I think you're gonna enjoy this video. We got the GC quad ready to give us some good numbers for you. I mean, what else can I really say about these things without just showing you some shots? First thing you're gonna notice here, very similar looking club head to last year's ZX7 model. It's a little bit different in the back here. Maybe just a little extra relief on the bottom of the club head there. Not too terribly different. The main difference I've noticed, honestly, is the swing weighting. I don't know if these are actually weighted any different, but the swing weight is certainly a little bit heavier than last year's model. For me, that's actually one of the biggest, if not the only con on these irons, is that the swing weighting is heavier. Srixon has always made a very light iron. I think these, they're just a tick heavy for my taste. We're talking maybe half a swing weight, possibly a full swing weight. I don't have a scale here, so I'm not exactly sure. But if I'm going to say anything bad about these irons, is that I preferred last year's model in terms of swing weight. You still get that beautifully crisp Srixon feel. Personally, I think this club is a little softer than last year's, which I like. The RTZ irons from this year is that Z alloy. I don't really know, to be honest with you, but some alloy Srixon came up with for their own metal, I guess. I don't know how metals and alloys work, but I think they might have put a little of it in the irons as well, because there is a noticeable softer feel off the club face, both in the irons and especially in the wedges from this year as opposed to last year's ZX7s. For context, I am playing the Project X LZ 6.0 120 gram shaft, just as I did in last year's model. I did make a change to the Lampkin UTX grip. I tell you what, this is love at first sight. I freaking love these things. We've got the GC quad by Foresight Sports here, just to give you guys the best data we can possibly have here. I'm going all out for you today. I'm giving you the line. We're making sure this ball data is absolutely perfect. I'm actually gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna put some stickers on the face of this club so we can get club data as well. Nowhere to hide today, boys. We got all the data you could ever want right here. All right, these are just kind of stock shots, and remember, this is not taking into account the fact that I'm hitting crappy range balls, so the speed and the distance is gonna be a little bit lower. I don't crush the ball. I hit it far enough, but I don't hit it like Bryson DeChambeau far. I would consider a stock 7 iron to be about 186 or so. And the other thing we got to talk about are my lofts and lies on these irons. This is 2 degrees upright and 2 degrees weaker in loft. So I will put the lofts on screen and try to compare them to what your standard lofts with other clubs would be. But essentially my clubs play about a club weaker. The reason I have these clubs bent weaker is so I can get it a little higher with a little more spin. Typically I've hit the ball a little low and a little low spinning as well. So we're trying to get it higher, spin more, and hold the greens. I did notice a slight drop in distance when I did this. Before, stock 7 was like 189. Now it's, like I said, 185, 186. Really not as much of a difference as you'd think, but it's mostly down to the fact that it's carrying further because the launch is higher. So it's apexing higher, it has longer time in the air to carry farther. That was way out of the toe there. We see a little more spinny there on a mishit. I personally think that's pretty good. For as bad as I hit that out of the toe, to really not lose much distance and not lose any speed at all, I'm pretty impressed with this club. For being the player's club, it is more forgiving than you might think it would be. And I'm not one of these guys that has to play blades just because blades look cool or, you know, they make me feel special. I don't think blades really offer a ton, especially not when you have this good of a club on the market. It's more forgiving than a blade, feels just as buttery. I get it, you can work a blade a little bit more. Personally, I'm not willing to give up that forgiveness for that slight bit of workability of a blade. If I'm trying to work the ball 30 yards left or right with a 7 iron, I have done something very wrong. I am in a real bad spot on the golf course that I shouldn't be in anyway. So if I need to work the ball that much, I should probably look at my driver or my off the tee club and not getting that extra workability out of an iron. What I like here is that the speed and the carry don't really change unless you massively miss it. Like, I'm talking about, like, you have to hit it off the grooves for it to go really, really badly. Speaking of hitting things really, really badly, my long irons were a real problem. Talk about mishits, talk about hitting it off the grooves. Holy cow, I was your guy. So in this iteration of my bag, I decided to go with the ZXi5, the more forgiving iron for the 5-iron and 4-iron, my top 2 longest irons. I feel like I just needed a little extra bounce on the bottom to get a little more height, because I was hitting these things unplayably low. So a little more height, a little more apex, and a little bit more forgiveness. I was super hesitant to do this. I know a lot of people like the combo set. I was very, very scared to do this because I just thought, I don't know, really, honestly, I thought like I would feel different, like setting up and looking down at this club, or I could see a difference, or when I hit it, it would feel different, or it'd be too jumpy off the face and too inconsistent. Honestly, I haven't found any of that. I have just fallen in love with the combo set. This is probably the best thing I've done for my game in quite a while, to be completely honest with you. If you don't do a combo set and you are playing the players clubs, I would at least consider it. Let's see what this 5-iron does. I'm gonna have to put more dots on this club, aren't I? All right, give me a sec. I really gotta remember to take these dots off before my next tournament round. I've got a tournament on Tuesday of next week. This is currently Friday. In fact, you might not know about tournament golf. You cannot play with these foresight dots on your club. I believe it's considered like an alignment aid or something. Little low, little off the toe. That's what we consider a pretty big miss hit, really. Ball speed 135, carry 202. I would consider a standard carry for this 5-iron about 210. So with a pretty big miss hit, really didn't lose that much distance. Again, remember, these are crappy range balls. So all these numbers are gonna be a little bit low. That's better. Ball speed was 138 there, carry 207, launch 13.8. That's what we're looking for. 4,600 spin. Didn't register. Hit one good and it didn't register. All right, that means we're done. We're out of here. Long story short, Srixon makes amazing irons. I haven't hit every iron on the market, but I don't see how you could get a better one for the money, especially if you're looking for, well, honestly, either way, if you're looking for player irons or even game improvement irons, the ZXi7s and the ZXi5s, I don't see how you can do better for the money. They're not paying me to say this, so I don't really care what you do if you buy them or not. But these are my new irons. I freaking love them. Hopefully, we can make a check with these irons, call ourselves a pro, and keep rocking the ZXi7s and 5s. Look, this is a sneak peek, so don't tell anybody. But I can't leave you without it. I gotta leave you with a little tease, a little sneak peek of the Srixon ZXi driver. We'll do a video about it in a few weeks, but oh boy, cover your ears. This thing's loud. Oh, that is scent.